Good Thursday and top of the morning to everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day to one and all, including those that will be dodging some thunderstorms with the possibility of some hail and lightning in them across northwestern New Jersey again later this afternoon. This is the video forecast discussion for St. Patrick's Day for GardenStateWeather.com and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com. I'm forecaster Robert Smith, and this is Thursday, St. Patrick's Day, the 17th of March, 2016. We're going to begin this morning with a brief overview of yesterday's thunderstorms as a line of thunderstorms moved from eastern Pennsylvania into northwestern New Jersey and then into New York City and Long Island and parts of Connecticut. Late yesterday afternoon, between the hours of 5 and 6:30 p.m., there was another batch of thunderstorms that formed over northeastern Pennsylvania and moved into New York State. And we'll start the loop right now. We can see those on Doppler radar from yesterday. They moved into Long Island and Connecticut. Here's the second batch later in the evening across northeastern Pennsylvania's Pocono region into southeastern New York. Some impressive lightning data which started over the Ohio and Valley and southeastern New York yesterday afternoon and propagated its way into portions of Pennsylvania, and the line of thunderstorms really blossomed as they made their way into eastern New Jersey and New York, and a second batch that formed here over northeastern Connecticut also produced some damage and reports that we'll show you in a moment in parts of Litchfield, Connecticut. Now, along with that vivid lightning, we had brief heavy downpours, but we had some hail yesterday afternoon across portions of Monroe County in Pennsylvania here, about 3/4 of an inch of hail. We had reports of an inch of hail later in the evening at around 9:40 in Luzerne County, and earlier in the evening we had some hail too at around 3/4 of an inch, and we had a person being struck by lightning in Litchfield, Connecticut. Resident was hit by lightning. We are hoping that that person is okay. In those brief heavy downpours yesterday with the lightning and thunder, we had anywhere from a tenth to over a half of an inch of rain in portions of northeastern Pennsylvania, with some of these strong thunderstorms that propagated from west to east across the forecast region yesterday evening and early overnight. Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma here has put our area of northwestern New Jersey just west of New York City and Interstate 80 and 78 here in a risk of thunderstorms for this afternoon and early evening, and some of these thunderstorms could contain some brief heavy downpours, some gusty winds, and some hail. Partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies with the fog over the regions in south and central southeast Pennsylvania, interior southeastern New Jersey, parts of the lower Hudson Valley into Connecticut, and parts of eastern Long Island are shrouded in clouds this morning with the fog and the lower visibilities ranging anywhere from about 1/4 of a mile up to about a mile in some spots. And portions of the Delaware region here, we're in dense fog at 1/1600ths of a mile in parts of Delaware this morning. And the temperatures are pretty mild as well. They're starting out in the mid to the upper 40s here, and that will be including all of the metropolitan area here. We still have a few 30-degree temperatures or temperatures in the upper 30s across the central and east ends of Long Island. Temperatures are in the low to the mid 40s in Connecticut, River Valley, southeastern New York, and temperatures are on the rise today again like they were yesterday, where temperatures are going to reach into the mid and upper 60s, and another threat for thunderstorms across portions of the region during this afternoon as another cold front moves into the region. We also have some small craft advisories on the coastal waters of New Jersey, the back bays of the Delaware as well, until 8 p.m. this evening. That's for west winds at 10 to 15 knots, gust up to 25 to 30 knots, primarily near the shore waters in Delaware Bay, and especially near any showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. The seas will average 2 to 4 feet, with 5-foot seas possible on the Atlantic coastal waters. And for the back bays here of Long Island Sound and Connecticut, and also the South Shore and east ends of Long Island's ocean waters, we have small craft advisories until 8 o'clock this evening. Winds and seas southwest at 10 to 15 knots, gust up to 25 knots, and seas 2 to 4 feet late. On the aviational weather deck for today through early this morning, we have light winds with generally MVFR conditions, variable IFR conditions this morning, and fog, especially across central and southeastern Pennsylvania, Susquehanna River Valley area, central and southern New Jersey, parts of eastern Long Island, also portions of interior and south shores of Connecticut this morning. After this morning's sunrise, VFR with scattered brief MVFR conditions and a shower during the afternoon, scattered to isolated thunderstorms with small hail and westerly wind gust up to 35 knots in the vicinity of Reading, Allentown, and Trenton, mainly late this afternoon towards dinner time. Otherwise, southwest winds gust up to 15 to 20 knots ahead of the cold front, becoming westerly with gusts up to 25 knots after the cold front late today and tonight. Now, tonight there could be a few more isolated showers moving off to the South Jersey and Delaware coast, and visibility restrictions will become VFR, clear by midnight, westerly winds gusting generally under 15 knots. Friday, mainly VFR. Another cold front passage may trigger a shower. Gusty west to northwest winds up to 30 knots expected with the frontal passage there. Saturday, this is the calm VFR with light northwest winds. Sunday, VFR decreasing to MVFR and IFR, possible in rain and snow most areas. Snow most likely right now to the north and west. Considerable uncertainty with the details on Sunday due to the track and strength of the storm system moving up from the south. Monday, we return from MVFR to IFR conditions, improving to VFR as the day progresses. We've got lots of weather to talk about today in the video. Right now outside of Newark early this morning, it's warm, 47 degrees, dew point 43, humidity 86%, the wind is southwest at 6, visibility is 10, and broken ceilings across the region. Some patchy fog around the region should be dissipating as the sunrise gets going. An isolated shower thunderstorm this afternoon, and we'll be monitoring that. That could be just to our west. Philadelphia also right now is warm, 46, dew point 43, humidity 89%, visibility 4 miles in fog, and scattered to broken clouds here, 800 to overcast, broken at 10,000, overcast 25,000. Again, the vicinity of a shower this afternoon, but the story will be the mild temperatures and the return to VFR later this morning. Large-scale view of the water vapor channel this morning across the entire United States. Shows our deep low pressure area here over the upper portions of the Great Lakes, and it's slowly and begrudgingly moving to the northeast. It produced a frontal band yesterday that produced showers and thunderstorms as it raced off the New England coastal waters. There's a second band here forming now across with another upper level disturbance moving into the Ohio and Tennessee River Valley area. This is going to swing through the mid-Atlantic coast states, especially over our forecast region, the northern part of our forecast region later this afternoon. Take a look at the high-resolution refresh composite reflectivity forecast going into the afternoon. Everything looks nice until the clouds build across the region later this afternoon and showers break out as another front approaches. You can see these breaking out in southeastern Pennsylvania. And then eventually they propagate into central and northern New Jersey. There could be two branches here. The first branch over the Poconos, second branch out ahead of it here across central Long Island, central and southeastern Pennsylvania. There could be just some discrete storms with these containing some hail, some heavy downpours, and some brief strong gusty winds. All of this propagates to the east and should be offshore the forecast region by midnight tonight. NAM 4-kilometer composite reflectivity forecast going into Friday. Here's the first batch of rain showers moving through New Jersey and the New York City metropolitan area, Long Island, Connecticut here. A few discrete cells behind this into the late afternoon hours, and then everything just falls apart into the evening. Then by tomorrow, a secondary cold front drops in from the north and from the west, and this could include a few areas of some light rain showers again across the northern reaches into the city, not out of the question by tomorrow afternoon on Friday, as well as the front begins to sink south and then eventually dissipates. Drier air and high pressure will build in for Friday night and Saturday before we return to a stormy period on Sunday night into a Monday. In yesterday morning's video forecast discussion, we included the ensemble mean forecast from the European and the GFS, and we showed you why these things were out of sync, but that's changed quite a bit in the late night and early morning runs this morning. In yesterday's run, the northern stream here develops and moves into the mid-Atlantic coast states, where our subtropical branch here moves then to the north and east and develops a coastal storm somewhere around the Carolinas. But yesterday's early morning run, or last night's actually, not last night's, but the previous night here, shows the two a little bit out of phase, the forerunner here, and by the time everything got together, it was over southern New England. If we went to the latest model guidance and we go back here, this is where it looks like now. And it still looks similar, but now the northern stream is beginning to catch up with a neutral trough here, with cold air building in, high pressure moving off the coast, and a storm system that develops and wraps up a little further to the over the benchmark here. And this could include a formidable storm here for Sunday night and Monday, and this could be a nor'easter and a last season hurrah where Palm Sunday begins and the equinox begins, but it could be the last final hurrah for the winter of 2016 that could produce some significant snows in the I-95 Philadelphia New York City corridor Sunday night and Monday morning. Operational runs of the European model guidance from last night shows our storm system here in question, southern branch and the northern branch here, and here we go. The neutrally based tilted trough here, the interaction of both streams coming together a little bit closer and over the benchmark here could mean some formidable snows and rain along the eastern United States coast. It could be a nor'easter here, late season coastal storm here for the ending of the winter of 2015 and 16. An early April Fool's joke, if you will. Morning run of the operational GFS shows the storm a little weaker and further to the south and east of the benchmark, producing light snows across the interior from the coastal plain just outside of Philadelphia into Cape May and portions of the I-95 corridor. This is the GFS from this morning. And then spills some of the snow into New York City and to eastern coastal New Jersey into Connecticut and Long Island, all of southern New England as well getting involved in this as the storm really wraps up away from the benchmark and is pretty formidable storm. A track a little bit further to the west and a lot more people with this get snow, but this is not the end and all to this. European model guidance paints the worst kind of scenario here with the storm track just over the complete benchmark here, producing enough cold dynamic air to produce snowfall rates anywhere from, with a 10-to-1 ratio, anywhere from 8 inches across northwestern New Jersey and over a foot in the New Jersey, New York City metropolitan area and central and eastern Long Island and interior Connecticut. This is a possibility as well. Now, while the GFS and the Canadian model guidance is not as emphatically enthusiastic like the European model guidance has been, we still need to pay very close attention to this because the timing of this means that the late night and early morning hours, despite the solar angle of late March and going into spring here with our equinox, means that the thermal profiles at the surface and aloft would be cold enough to support wintry precipitation. Also, the location and interaction between all of these streams means cold air, how cold the air will be locked in, how far and how long it will be locked in, and what's going on in the Pacific with our ridge access over the Montanas, and its location depends on how deep this trough digs and how far south and east this area of low pressure develops and then where it moves to. Definitely on the European model guidance, it wraps up very quickly into the Gulf of Maine by Monday night. But before that happens, we could have a significant snowstorm still on the table here for late Sunday night and Monday, and the details are still too far away to call it yet. I've seen lots of snow maps out there, and well, you just have to go with it because, well, you don't have to go with it, actually. You just have to announce that the fact that people are posting this kind of thing, but there's a lot of uncertainty in the skill of this forecast going forward until we get better RAYOB data during the next 24 to 48 hours. So once again, we'll keep abreast of all of this live on GardenStateWeather.com, GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. If you're a party and a reveler out there today, be safe, enjoy yourself. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone, and we'll be back in video form later tonight and early tomorrow morning.